It came out of this intention at Byers to work once a month with different community organizations to highlight the resources that those organizations have to while
our vision was to examine the life of immigrant, migrant, refugee, and asylee experience through the hip-hop lens.
Yes, and just thinking about our own neighborhood here that the Byers Branch Library serves and that the KGNU Denver studio resides in, we have a lot of immigrants coming into this neighborhood, and so this topic is really important to us to give immigrants a voice, but also to show that we want to hear about it. We want to teach we want the existing community here to know about their experiences as well.
Yeah. I don't know nothing, man, not nothing at all. Yo, soon to be suitable. I guess I changed, I plan to jack it up. Whether it's rain or not, it's not in my brain, not in my cranium. To the music, not enough until opportunities knocking more often, knocking arrows, shoot for the moon. Till I ran into space, spacing out, I'm tweaking, beating that crave until they.
I think there's a feeling that a lot of what the news portrays is the negative aspects of an immigrant experience, of perhaps the tragedy they've had, or the reasons they have to leave their home place. And we wanted to talk more about the people as a whole and what's coming out of it. And so let's see.
Following thoughts that in the ponds, searching for oceans and dreaming beyond the cons. They keep telling me to stick to my waterfalls, but I'll stick to these guns. Words carrying messages, 'cause the battle took too long. The cops.
What did you think the Denver Public Library's reaction was as an organization, like at your branch, your manager, your co-workers? You do these monthly cultural, workshops.
Yeah, each collaboration takes on its own character depending who we're working with, and thus we inhabit different spaces of the library, or we have to go outside. So not too many have called us upstairs to have performers in the main space. So of course there are some logistical things to get through, and just warning people that the library will not be quiet at this time. But it also was very fun, and I think brought a lot of energy to the staff.
Up in the back of this coffee shop, hoping he gets a lift up into a low life that would take the edge off of Johnny that day. He was on the edge, ready to jump off. So he went ahead, jumped off. I have two beasts inside of me. One pulling hard left field, the other playing dice with me. How frightening. You're so exciting.
One of the kids performing was Ruben Saldivar Romero, and he was interesting because he had immigrated twice. He came over initially as a small kid. His parents worked here for a few years, then they took him back to Mexico, and then brought him back as a slightly larger kid, say 9 or 10 years old, at which point then it was 9/11 occurred, and there was really no back and forth over the borders.
Oh, I'm feeling so lonely and cold. I'm out on my own, searching for gold. I'm still very young, yet feeling so old. Got a head full of the white hair, not giving up.
His parents, I guess, still express the desire to want to return to Mexico, but are unable to do so. So each of these individuals had their own sort of story about how the borders are affecting them.
Before it's too late, I hate feeling hollow. I'm gone, the traveling man.
I'll talk about Shalit first, because here I was thinking, oh, she's going to sing about her immigrant experience. That was sort of my narrow-minded thought about it. But really, she just came and sang this beautiful song and perhaps had nothing to do exactly with this experience. And I think that was a good reminder to me, too, that she's just being an artist in Colorado and making her art as herself.
I'm from Ethiopia. Me and my family moved out here. Well, my dad moved out here about 9 years ago now. But we moved out here because of my dad. My dad is a professional Ethiopian singer, traditional music. He moved out here for work, but he decided to stay here because even though he's a musician and he lived a good life, it was very hard for him to express himself through lyrics and all that without offending the government. So he had no option but to stay here, and he welcomed us here. I'm glad to be here because I get to meet you guys now. So the song I'm going to be singing, we're actually going to be doing a song together, is Like I'm Gonna Lose You by Meghan Trainor and John Legend. Hope you guys enjoy it. I found myself dreaming of silver and gold, like a scene from a movie that every broken heart knows. We're walking on moonlight, you pull me close, split second and you disappear, and then I was all alone. Woke up in tears with you by my side, breath of relief, and I realized, no, we're not promised tomorrow. So I'm gonna let
are obviously plenty of ways for people to engage in the world. You know, most of these kids had gone to work. Diego talked about after his mom being deported that his dad basically prompted him to drop out of school and go to work.
Yeah, he had a brother to support.
Right. And, you know, the years of climbing up ladders to put on roofs on houses, staring him in the face, was a big reason for him to want to break out of that box and express himself through music.
Just a whisper of smoke, you could lose everything. The truth is you never know. So I'll kiss you longer, baby, any chance I get. Make the most of the minutes in love with no regret.
Let's take our time
And say what we want before it's all gone. 'Cause no, we're not promised tomorrow.
I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you.
Then Izana Tesfamariam was a young man. What did you get from Izana's story?
Yo. My name is Izana Tesfamariam. I go by Easy Blank. I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado by way of Ethiopia, so I identify as African American. My parents were born in Ethiopia, moved over to America, to Denver actually, in around 1990s. And they met there, had me, and don't touch the screen. Word. So I've just been listening to hip hop. You know, Ethiopian culture is really deeply rooted in music, and music is very important. I'd like to say a few words first. Drink more water, keep your third eye open. Let's go. But soon as I spit with accuracy, I'm far from the proof. Patui, I'm not that person, been on snatching purses, future I'm in. Nervousness inside my doodle, dude don't worry, I'm worried. Purse slips, what your purpose is, shut up brother. Nickel bag inside my pocket, nothing man, nothing changes. Everybody knows we are rearranging. I don't really care for what my pigment is. I don't care what figments is, nothing changes man.
Oh, he was born here. His parents are Ethiopian. but he still has this need to show that he has these roots from Ethiopia, but also being a youth here in Colorado and working with those two identities. And he did some rapping for us.
What we were able to do is make a video mixtape of different international hip-hop artists, or perhaps ways that hip-hop has been interpreted in different cultures throughout the world.
تممت الرحلة من ضرب الرهبة بسبب المهر كله صار بكربة. وين التفاؤل لك وين المحبة؟ صرنا الأعداء ورسينا الأخوة. كله بده يطلع ما حدا عم يسمع والكلمة لكلمة ما حدا بده يرجع. ضاع الأمل ولك ضاع العلم بسبب الهجرة ضاع الحلم. القضية إنه انقضى علينا وقعنا وما حدا سمع علينا بهوة أزمات عالمية لحتى ضاعت أسامينا بعد ما.
Another Syrian refugee, Basil Essa, who we found practicing his rap outside a migrant processing center, says those who think all refugees will simply drain Europe's public services are wrong.
For me, I don't want the luxury life. I just want to live in a peaceful place. Just normal life, peaceful place, like a good job, that's it. I don't want anything else. I don't want to cause any problem for anyone. I don't want because nobody comes.
Being introduced to new artists, you also are introduced to a culture, and you're introduced to just someone else's day-to-day life, and it opens you up to those experiences.
عم ابكي عليكي بعيوني شفتك جنة ولا على أرضك جثة شبابك عم بيبيع صفات.
Salsa video we saw, it was this b-boy artist that incorporated his b-boy moves with salsa dancing, and it was beautifully done, really exciting. My chest was like woohoo just to see it.
Yeah, that was wonderful. It was like a man breaking out a lot of very gymnastic b-boy moves and then doing partner dancing with a woman, you know, and she would break out into the more traditional salsa steps. He would hit some b-boy floor work, and then they would just like pop back up together and do a couples routine. That was really beautifully done. When it comes to hip-hop and talking about interpreting life through hip-hop, it deals with basically 4 pillars of expression, which is MCing, aka rapping, DJing or music production, the dance of b-boying, breakdancing, and graffiti art.
This is straight South Bronx right here. You pan out, you see them running the electricity from the lamppost here, and they got the hip-hop blasting, they got the cats playing ball. hanging out, man. I mean, it's very rare that you find these kind of spaces even in the States anymore, man. So you see that hip-hop in Cuba, man, it's alive and well. It's alive and well.
We didn't only just have them performing their songs, we also had them sit down as a panel, tell a little bit about their personal history, and answer questions from the audience.
First of all, I want to say that you are all wonderful, really talented people.
Thank you.
But I wanted to, I thought you were so wonderful, I really want to know more about you. Like, how old are you? Are you in high school, college? Where'd you go? And how you're doing now and what you're doing.
I'm currently enrolled in Community College of Denver. I went to Lincoln High School. I didn't graduate with my class. I was supposed to graduate class of 2013. And after that, I went to alternative school at Respect Academy. It's when it was first introduced as a Denver public school. And the music program was introduced then. I was only going to take one class for the remedial class, and our principal, Wendy Lanier, introduced the class at orientation, and she said there were spots available. So I was like, why not? You know, it's music production. I'd like to join. And I'm currently 20 years old, about to be 21. And right now, I'm trying to find a job, working part-time, helping out my dad, studying, online class, and taking a English class at CCD. So it's a busy schedule, and then time management, commute, and yeah.
I'm 19 years old. I went to George Washington High School about 4 years ago. I didn't graduate with my class either. Then I moved over to Colorado High School Charter, and through Colorado High School Charter, I was introduced to Youth on Record and the music program they have there, which is music production and lyricism. So, yeah. Currently not in school. I went to CCD for a year, taking a semester off right now.
But one thing that really stuck out to me was that all of these kids had the common experience of dropping out of high school.
So I'm 19, and I went everywhere. Gosh, I went to George my freshman year, and I went to South my sophomore and junior year, and I dropped out for like 6 months because a whole lot of stuff happened, family, and I could not keep up. But then when you just leave your family and you're like raised in a strict culture or family, you just want to be free and not do things right for the first time ever. That did not go right.
At one point or another, if they went back, if they got their GED, if they went to work, they had all left school at some point.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to hear that as part of their story.
People, and they opened up so many opportunities for me.
I think that it's interesting, though, because they're all really active with Youth on Record and really pushing forward with their creative interests.
I don't want to stay working because I still want to be enrolled in school. So I am planning on getting my license for real estate so I could start selling houses, and so I will have enough money to get into a law school. So that's the future plan.
I'm 19 years old. In high school, I wasn't the best kid, you know, and they deported my mom my junior year. And my dad told me, you're just wasting your time waking up to go to school, you know? And so I started to stay home. And he was like, well, you can't just stay home. You got to go do something. And so I found a carpentry school, and I got certified to be a carpenter. I worked carpentry for about 2.5 years. Then after that, I realized that it didn't matter because it didn't matter how much money I was making because I didn't have time to spend this money. You know, so it was a really big realization of if you're not doing something that makes you happy, there's no point in doing it. You know, if you only have a limited amount of time here, and you got to make it worth it.
And then there was the young man that got up at the end who actually wasn't on the docket, but
oh yeah, he asked to come up.
He asked to come up, and he sang his song and never even caught his name.
Didn't catch his name. Don't know where he's from.
No.
It was a beautiful ending.
Thank you guys all for coming out today. This is something that you've been working on.
Sometimes I cannot breathe.
It's always there. You do it because you love it, and if something happens with it, something happens with it.
I take music very serious. Music is a big part of my life. I have lost and gained so many people out of my life because of music. Whether there's fame or not, it inspires me to just live a better day every day.
I just want to do music as long as possible, and I want to be able to reach as many people as I can with the message that I have to serve, and however that comes out is how it comes out, because it was written that way. But I'm praying for the best, you know.
Baby, sometimes I just can't hold on. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't know. I know. I know. Sometimes I don't know. I know. Yeah. Sometimes I cannot breathe.